All right, guys, Kenny Smith, Total Force Holdings again. I cannot stress enough, when we're talking about civil unrest, the importance of escape. But I also understand sometimes that's not possible, right? You may be just stuck in the area. They may be planning on protesting right across the street from where you work during the hours where you're stuck in the building. All right, so you may have to wait. I'm going to see if I can turn this to get that glare out, light out. Here we go. That should be a little bit better. All right, so you may be stuck in the building and not have a way out. They may have traffic blocked off where you don't have a way out. Law enforcement response might be in such a way that it blocks your way out. Always be looking for that way out. Maybe it's with the vehicle, maybe it's on foot, maybe it's a combination of both. Maybe you have to hoof it to get back to where you parked your vehicle, but you parked somewhere outside of that area, right? It might help you. Maybe you're going to hoof it to a buddy's vehicle, right? One of those local contacts we talked about yesterday. Maybe you hoof it to their vehicle. But there are also times when you're stuck there. All right, so for those times, you need to understand the permissiveness of the area. What is the known affiliation of you? Like, let's say, for instance, it's a political party that's raising sand, and you have evidence that you belong to the opposition political party of this little struggle, right? You have evidence you belong to the opposition. Stickers on your vehicle, slogans on your clothing, slogans on a water bottle, whatever. You got something that identifies you as being on the opposite side. That's not a very permissive environment for you to be walking around in. Maybe they'll leave you alone, maybe they won't. Assume the latter. Now you need to know the dominant side locally. If this is a small percentage of the local area, then you can probably bet there's going to be a lot of people from the other side showing up to counter protest. Now you've got that groupthink mentality. Now you've got one side with a gripe over here and one side with a group over here. Generally a good idea to blend in and try to get through from the dominant side. That way you've got more bodies between you and the drama, right? You also need to understand the legality of this when you're talking about planning your escape. If you are lawfully carrying concealed, if the area is put under a state of emergency, in some states, that changes the status of your carry permit, which might mean now you're riding dirty. You might also live in a state like North Carolina, where I live, where if you're armed, what would be legally, if there's a protest demonstration there, now you're suspect. And you would effectively have to prove to that officer you're talking to that you're not part of the protest, you are just trying to get home. That's drama you don't want. Understand the permissiveness and address yourself accordingly. Maybe that means going to deeper concealment. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the opposite end, right? I've kind of talked about how important it is to get away from it, but sometimes you have to go into it. There are certain things that are worth the risk. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. But I cannot stress enough the importance of get the hell away from it if at all possible. Again, my Patreon link's in the bio. I've got some good stuff going on with that. We'll catch y'all next time. Stay safe.